Welcome to the Military Money Manual Podcast, where every episode is all about achieving financial independence in the military faster than before. We believe personal finance shouldn't be boring or intimidating. Building wealth can be simple, and financial freedom is the ultimate financial goal. Now, here's your hosts, Spencer and Jamie.
On this week's episode, we're going to continue our series on the best airline credit cards for military service members and their families. Last few episodes, we've talked about United, Delta, and American Airlines cards, and today we're going to cover Southwest Airlines. I'm Jamie, and I'm here with Spencer Reese from militarymoneymanual.com. So we're going to cover the Southwest cards that are offered from Chase Bank, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Southwest Companion Pass, which gets a lot of publicity and seems like something that's pretty cool and easy to do. And there are some tips and some ways you can do that via credit card sign-up bonuses. But Spencer, let's start off by talking about the cards themselves, what's out there, and which ones are worth looking at.
So Southwest has partnered with Chase Bank to issue their credit cards. They're pretty poorly named, and it's hard to determine like what is actually the top tier card, what's the mid tier, what's the low tier. And then they have a business credit card as well. So the top tier Chase Southwest card is the Priority, and then it's the Premier, and then it's the Plus. And on the business side, they have the Southwest Rapid Rewards Performance Business Credit Card, but we're not going to really address the business side today. So on the personal side, the Southwest Rapid Rewards Priority Credit Card is annual fee waived for military under the Chase Military Lending Act policy. So you can go look at my website for more details on that. But basically, if you're active duty, if you're Guard and Reserve on 30-day plus orders, or you're a military spouse, you're going to get your annual fees waived on your credit cards if you're properly listed in the Military Lending Act database. And again, you can Google that and get some more information on that. The Southwest Rapid Rewards Priority Credit Card usually offers between 40, sometimes all the way up to 100,000 rapid rewards miles after meeting the minimum spend, usually in between 3 to 4 months. It has a $149 annual fee, but again, that's waived for military and military spouses. You can earn 3x points or 3 times the points per dollar spent on Southwest purchases. And then there's some other earning tiers as well. It's actually not a great earning card. I really recommend that if you're going to be using a card to earn points or miles, you use a different card. But if you're trying to earn the famous Southwest Companion Pass, then maybe you could use this card to do that.
Yeah, and we'll talk more of the specifics of the Companion Pass in a second. But one of the reasons I still have this card, or my wife actually has this one, I do not have it myself, is that it comes with a $75 annual Southwest travel credit. So if you're going to fly Southwest, you can get basically $75 off a ticket, or in some cases a free ticket, or maybe a ticket and a half for free every year, just from having this free credit card and keeping it open.
Yeah, so when I lived in the Hawaiian Islands, Southwest frequently offered $49 flights.
Sometimes $29 back then.
And you could use the $75 annual travel credit, and you could almost fly round trip to another Hawaiian island for free.
And it's any purchase. It's easy. Anything that comes up as Southwest will just automatically get credited back on your Chase statement.
You also get 25% back on in-flight Wi-Fi and drink purchases, and you get 4 upgraded boardings per year. I don't know what a Southwest upgraded board. I guess you just move.
We used it.
You move up the list?
Yeah, you move up to like A1 through 15, so you don't have to set your alarm for 24 hours prior to check-in. If you're traveling as a family, it's nice. Typically one of us will go get on the plane, get our stuff set up, and the other one will stay off the plane with the kids. So there's less amount of time for the kids to be strapped into the seat. So not a huge benefit, but if you're going to fly Southwest again, it's nice to have some of those.
So Southwest is a transfer partner of Chase, and only Chase, not Citi, Capital One, or American Express. So you can transfer Chase points over to your Southwest card. Just note that those transfers don't count towards earning enough miles or points for the Southwest Companion Pass, but they can be used to book Southwest tickets with points. So Jamie, let's talk about the famous Southwest Companion Pass now. So in order to earn the Companion Pass, you either have to fly 100 one-way flights or earn 135,000 Rapid Rewards points in 1 year.
It's pretty difficult for most military family members to fly 100 one-way segments, but you can open 2 or 3 Southwest cards back to back, meet the spending requirement for the sign-up bonus on each of the cards, and earn over 135,000 points. And then you'll get the Companion Pass. And if you time it right, you can get it for the rest of this calendar year and all of next calendar year as well. There's articles on your website, Spencer, where if you look up Southwest credit cards military, it'll pop up to explain the companion pass and how to maximize it. But basically, every time you fly, you get another ticket for free. You only pay the mandatory taxes and fees, like $5.60 per segment, and your companion flies for free everywhere you go on Southwest.
Sometimes they even, as a welcome bonus offer, they'll offer a companion pass after meeting the minimum spend.
Yeah.
So that happened pretty recently in 2023. But the other technique that you could do is open up the personal card. So open up, let's say, the Southwest Priority credit card. And if they're offering, let's say, 100,000 bonus miles, you meet the minimum spend. And then you also open up a Southwest business credit card, earn 50,000 bonus miles on that one. And boom, you're at 150,000 miles earned in 1 year. And you've earned the companion pass. Now, like Jamie was saying, if you do this in January, February, or sometime early in the year, you're going to earn the companion pass for the rest of that year and the next calendar year. So that can really make this a huge benefit, especially if you fly Southwest often.
Yeah, so you might want to even apply for the card in December, do all your spending so you're done with your sign-up bonus, maybe even November, 2 or 3 months of spending. And then that way it hits early in the calendar year, and then you get maximum benefit out of your companion pass.
Just be careful, because I had a friend who earned the companion pass in December because they accidentally hit the minimum spend on their Southwest card. And so they earned it for the rest of December and the following calendar year. Whereas if they just delayed it for a couple of days, they would have earned it for almost 2 full years by meeting the minimum spend in January.
Another thing to watch out for on Chase cards like these Southwest cards is the 524 rule, or 5/24. You'll see written sometimes. Spencer, what's that all about? And if someone's never heard of 524 and Chase, you have to have a couple spots open in your credit card travel hacking game before you can employ the companion pass strategy.
Yeah, that's right, Jamie. So the Chase 5/24 rule is basically that Chase restricts you to opening up 5 credit cards in a 24-month period.
With any bank.
That's from any bank. So what they're going to do is when you apply for a Chase card, they're going to check your credit report. And if they see a credit card application that was approved on there, let's say it was, from American Express, that counts as 1. And let's say it was 6 months ago. So now you're 1 out of 24, you have 1 credit card open. Now let's say that you apply for the Platinum card from American Express, the Amex Gold card, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Chase Freedom card, and the American Express Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card. So now you have opened up 5 cards. If you go and apply for the Chase Rapid Rewards Priority credit card, they're going to deny that application because they're going to say, hey, you opened up 5 cards in the last 24 months and you are not eligible to open up another Chase card.
Or worst case, you didn't get your strategy quite right and you have 1 spot open. So they approve 1 card, but you need 2 to get the companion pass. And then you're not going to be able to get your second card. And then you basically ruined your strategy. So definitely take a look at your credit card history of what you've opened in the last 24 months. Anytime you're looking at Chase cards, or if you want to consider these Southwest cards with the companion pass, you really need to make sure you get the timing right, both of when you apply and earn the points inside of the calendar year and with your individual history in the last 24 months of credit cards. It should not include business cards or authorized user additional card stuff. It may initially flag for the 524, but you can usually submit to the reconsideration line and they will look at it and be like, okay, that makes sense. 1 was a business card and we'll let it pass. But we don't want you to have a stressful situation here. So just make sure you've done your homework and the timing's right in your situation.
It's definitely a more advanced travel hacking strategy and not one that I would recommend to someone who's doing this for the first time. But it can be pretty powerful if you earn a companion pass for 2 years. And if you, let's say you have 2 kids and you and your partner or spouse both open up and execute the Southwest Companion Pass strategy, now you both have companion passes. That means your kids are not going to be able to fly for free with you.
Just a quick note from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back to the show. Hey, Spencer, I've heard about this free Amex Platinum card for military service members. Where can I go to learn more about this?
Great question, Jamie. I've got the Ultimate Military Credit Cards course at militarymoneymanual.com/UMC3. It's a 100% free email-based course, and I explain exactly how to verify your eligibility for credit card annual fee waivers with the Military Lending Act, or MLA, and the Service Members Civil Relief Act, or SCRA. The Ultimate Military Credit Cards course is a beginner's guide to travel hacking and opening up your first annual fee-waived credit card while you or your spouse serves in the U.S. military. There's no spam, no fluff, and the only emails you'll get from me are related to military credit cards. You can unsubscribe at any time, and there's 0 cost to you to sign up. You can sign up right now for free at militarymoneymanual.com/UMC3. Again, militarymoneymanual.com/uniform Mike Charlie 3.
And now back to the show.
One thing I really like about flying Southwest, and there's not many, but is how flexible the points and bookings are. You can cancel a flight all the way up till 10 minutes before takeoff, I think, or before boarding ends, and you can still get a refund. And it's very easy to do through the app and automatic, and the funds or the points just go right back into your Southwest travel bank. The other thing is you can transfer Chase Ultimate Reward points. So if you need to make a booking, or let's say you have some points that you earned when you opened up the Southwest Priority credit card, but you need to top it off a little bit, well, you can transfer Chase points into your Southwest account. Not always a great value. I think I would definitely recommend that you start with a more flexible travel hacking military credit card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Platinum card from American Express, or the American Express Gold card before you move on to the Southwest cards. And like Jamie said, and like we said earlier, you want to make sure that you have done your homework and you're ready to execute the strategy. And that means checking things like Chase 5 out of 24 and making sure that you're not going to run afoul of those rules.
So in general, if you're looking for a Southwest card, these are fine cards to consider. They're decent to have in your portfolio, but they're not going to give you quite the bang for your buck that a traditional Chase Sapphire Reserve or an Amex Platinum is going to have, with much more flexible redemption options and better earning potential as well. But if you really want the companion pass, these credit cards that come with no annual fee for military service members might be worth considering for that kind of situation.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Military Money Manual podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. This helps others find the show, and we really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
The views and opinions presented here are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent the views of the DoD or its components. Reference to any commercial products or services does not constitute DoD endorsement of those products or services.